Dubai, the ultimate prize for 60 SMMEs who were selected to pitch virtually from 9 African countries to the MultiChoice Africa Accelerator panel. 60 who were hoping to be one of 29 who headed to Johannesburg. And now, out of the 29, here are the final 11 to pitch to global investors in Dubai. On the previous episode of the MultiChoice Africa Accelerator, Matontine brought finance to women in Senegal. And out of Ivory Coast, building a platform to tell the African story was Star News Mobile. Coming up on Africa Accelerator, TaskMobi is shaking up the job tech market in Ethiopia, and Tupuca is leading the way with their on-demand, all-in-one e-commerce platform in Angola. On today's episode, we travel to Angola to meet e-commerce innovation Tupuca.
My name is Erickson Vezi. I'm from Luanda, Angola, 32 years old, and I'm an entrepreneur. The sector that I operate, I'm a founder and a leading e-commerce business in Angola. It's called Tupuca.
The growth of e-commerce in Africa has risen from 13% in 2017 to 28% in 2022. All this has been bolstered by an increase in payment services and the penetration of the internet on the continent. Smartphone adoption has been on the rise in Africa for almost a decade now, and this trend doesn't seem like it's slowing down. In e-commerce, almost 70% of online shopping is done on smartphones and tablets. Angola's internet penetration rate stood at 32.6% of the total population at the start of 2023. This means that there's exceptional growth to anticipate in the Angolan e-commerce sector, not only for users, but innovative e-commerce business models like Tupuca. Erickson Mvezi ensured that he took the step to ensure that his Angolan e-commerce innovation was part of the MultiChoice Africa Accelerator program by securing a virtual pitch with our panel of experts.
Tupuca is Angola's first online delivery platform that allows users to order from multiple stores straight from the smartphone. So the reason why we decided to work on Tupuca is actually started back in 2015 while in San Francisco with the boom of all the Uber Eats and stuff. The main question was, why would this solution wouldn't work in Angola or in Africa? Because we had a situation where you had a high number of youth unemployment. You have a lot of motorcycle drivers, but then there's not a decent logistical platform for them to be part of. And then you had the economy was booming at the time, but merchants didn't have a single platform that showcased them and then that was able to give them more visibility. And then in the middle of it, you have customers that are working, that they're enjoying their time, and they're looking for more convenience and platform that could cater for their needs. So we decided to create this solution that pretty much summarizes the 3 points that I mentioned over there. It brings convenience to the users, it creates decent jobs, and it gives visibility to the merchant creating this super app.
Hi, Erickson. I really like what you guys are doing, especially, creating jobs and involving the community and building the ecosystem. I think for me, I just want to know some of the biggest challenges you're facing as a company.
The biggest challenge right now, it's, I would say fundraise, because it gets to a point where, not to sound overconfidence, is like you already know what to do, because you've been doing the same thing for 7 years, and you know what tweaks it works. So it's just ability to actually fundraise successfully.
After the virtual pitches, Erickson was invited to Johannesburg, South Africa with 28 other SMMEs for their chance to pitch live at the MultiChoice studios. The MultiChoice team welcomed our business owners to the MultiChoice Accelerator program on Orientation Day and ensured our business owners were equipped with knowledge for the rest of the program.
And that's really what it's about. How do we uplift people? How do we give them the opportunity, and how do we allow them to really go forth into society and be better?
Tupuca is focused on their mission to revolutionize the African delivery service sector, using technology to give their customers convenience at an affordable price.
Everything started back in 2015. It was at a time where you had Uber Eats booming, Deliveroo, and other marketplaces. The question was like, why would this thing work in Africa, where you have middle class growing, people are looking for ease of living, and then people, especially drivers, are looking for different ways of earning. So I took the idea, graduated, went back to Angola. When I went back, I was expecting it to launch in 3 months, but the reality of an African startup is totally different. So it took us 18 months for us to do the first delivery. So that's how everything started. When we started, we came across a couple of challenges, but the main one was the fact of people believing that you can order food through a smartphone and have a random motorcycle driver bring it and deliver it on time. And then convincing new partners to join. We often went to meetings that we were sat there for 4 hours just for somebody to receive you and then tell you like, no, I don't want to work with you. It's like, how do you want to work with me? It's like, I'm bringing you revenue, I'm bringing you visibility. But over time, more people start believing. The response over these past 7 years has been fantastic. The first 2 years, it was just second guessing ourselves. It's like, okay, are we in the right sector? It's like, is this thing will ever pick up? But the last 3 years has been phenomenal. Today, we're 3 active founders. It was a time that we went from a company of like 25 people to 200 people because the growth just picked up like tremendously. So at that period, we had to learn how to manage because like every single month you're dealing with a new scenario. So the company has grown. Today we are 400 people. As an entrepreneur, you're always looking for programs that can accelerate you. Before we were just doing deliveries just to deliver. Once you go through an accelerator program such as this of MultiChoice, it gives you a better perspective of business. You have more business acumen. You full understanding of how to develop the product, how to do different testing. So this has been like the major add-on. And the fact of just being around like like-minded entrepreneurs, it makes you feel that you're not alone. So for us, this is another graduation. So, and I'm super excited for what's to come.
After the break, convenience meets necessity when tackling Ethiopia's unemployment rate one swipe at a time. Ezana Roswork is creating a digital job market with his job tech platform, TaskMobi. 11 passionate startups from across 9 African countries have been selected to pitch to international investors in Dubai. And one of them is Ethiopia's TaskMobi, the first digital marketplace in Ethiopia that's connecting customers with qualified home service providers, such as plumbers, cleaners, and electricians. Dubbed the Uber for home services, founder and managing director Ezana Roswork says over the past 1.5 years of operation, the TaskMobi team has developed a successful value proposition, which has leveraged on a world-class technology platform to provide accessible and affordable home service providers.
Hi, my name is Ezana Roswork. I'm the founder and CEO of TaskMobi. TaskMobi is a digital marketplace connecting users with service providers in Ethiopia. My father decided to buy some puppies, some little dogs, for his grandkids. And when we showed up in Addis and the puppies were there, my wife is a doctor, and she said, have these puppies been vaccinated? They hadn't been. So 3 days of trying to find a vet that could come and vaccinate the puppies. It should actually be easier to find. So that was the origin behind why we started Africa 118.
Unemployment remains unacceptably high in Africa, particularly amongst women. The female unemployment rate stood at 9% in 2022. This is higher when compared to male unemployment of 7.4%.
TaskMobi, essentially the problem, it solves 2 problems. On one side, there's a lot of young people in Ethiopia that are unemployed, 70% unemployment rate. So you may go to plumbing school, electrical school, you thought you've done the right thing, but when you've finished, most of them don't get jobs. But at the other side, if you come to Addis and you ask people, do you have a plumber or electrician to fix things around the house. Many people tell it's very difficult to find somebody I can trust. So essentially, we have a broken market.
Ethiopia's rate for 2021 was 3.69%, a 0.46% increase from 2020. But innovations in the job tech sector are starting to make inroads against unemployment by using technology, or what is known as job tech. Job tech involves the use of technology to enable, facilitate, or improve the productivity of people to access and deliver quality work. And the global digital workplace market size is expected to reach $54.2 billion by 2027, with an annual growth of 11.3%. This makes digital marketplaces like TaskMobi a viable business proposition for growth, which will uplift communities. Azana's journey began with being part of the 60 SMMEs that pitched virtually to the MultiChoice panel of judges. The goal, to pitch live as part of the 29 in Johannesburg.
TaskMobi is a digital marketplace. It matches these two realities together. How do we make sure that we can connect vocational graduates with people that are looking for their services? It's a platform that enables people to connect with us, either using, as you mentioned, our mobile application, a call center, or USSD. So it's complete as a solution where we make it easy for people to connect with us and then find people that they can provide the services. We focused on 3 categories to start off with: cleaning, plumbing, and electrical. And we're servicing primarily B2B markets.
Fantastic presentation, well done. I think I guess my questions to you is, how do you take this to the next level?
In terms of scaling, so certainly strategic partnerships like the DStv one, that seems to scale. On the plumbing side, the 2 largest plumbing companies in Ethiopia are big in the construction sector. We're getting a lot of jobs from them. We're finding stuff that we didn't expect. So outsourcing, even some of the larger FMCG companies, helping them with recruiting and placing. So what we find is strategic partnerships with large brands where we solve the problem of recruiting, placing reliable is how we scale. Certainly our plan would be, so on Africa 118, we're in 6 countries, so all the neighboring countries, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, we're in Ghana. So we have an infrastructure that can help us scale, but for the time being, we still see a lot of potential in Ethiopia.
Having made the cut from the virtual pitches, Azana arrived in Johannesburg as part of the 29 that will be pitching in studio.
I'm feeling great, excited to be here, meet my colleagues, see the end of the program, so really excited to be here.
Touchdown South Africa, and the first stop was the welcome dinner, where Azana got to meet and network with other SMMEs in the program. With a busy week ahead, the MultiChoice team held an orientation day to brief the entrepreneurs about the program and the journey ahead.
I do share your excitement. I do share your belief that the best comes out of Africa. We have different challenges to the world, but we're a resilient people, we're a resilient continent, and I think we can make it. This room testifies to all of that.
Very pleased with both the programming, so very high-level content, startups, SMEs that are part of it as well. So the networking side is incredibly valuable. We can stand on each other's shoulders and learn, and expectations for good things to come as well.
Azana's innovation convinced the judges to secure him a spot in the 29 SMMEs that were chosen to go to the MultiChoice studios in Johannesburg to pitch in front of a live panel in the hopes of being one of the 11 that will make it to Dubai.
Getting funding in Ethiopia is quite challenging. So until now, we've self-funded. So our core sort of digital marketing business is what's paying for the growth of TaskMobi. And that can take us so far. So again, we're growing quite nicely, but we'd like to grow even faster.
Both Ericsson and Azana now have the goal of pitching to global investors in Dubai in sight. But they will first need to go through the intensive boot camp in Zambia, where they will be equipped by C3 mentors. One of the key takeouts is how important it is to know the competition and be competitive. Here, the SMMEs must identify their direct and indirect competition, analyze their strengths and weaknesses as a business, discuss barriers to entry into their particular industry, such as startup costs and how to overcome them, be honest and transparent, demonstrate that they have a deep understanding of the market landscape and are well positioned to succeed in the face of competition. Following extensive workshops, presentations, and engagements from the bootcamp in Zambia, Ezana was ready to take on the final leg in Dubai. After the break, Ericsson and Ezana are one of 29 pitching to a panel of judges at the MultiChoice Studios in Johannesburg. Ericsson was feeling confident as he stepped into Studio 6, ready to pitch his all-in-one e-commerce platform, Tupuca.
Ericsson, good luck with your 5 minutes. That starts now.
Thank you. Tupuca is an on-demand delivery platform that allows people to order, receive, pick up anything in less than 45 minutes. Our deliveries are done by independent drivers, we call them Tupuquinhas. Our platform has multiple categories such as restaurants, groceries, and anything that the users can order in a really fast and affordable way. Over the past 5 years, we've been focusing solely on Luanda, Angola. The last 3 years, we expanded into 3 different cities, including Kinshasa, DRC. And this year, we're looking towards to reach 8 million in sales organically. Our focus is in the satellite market because with the experience that we have from DRC and Angola, we can replicate this experience across many other cities. Our business model is quite simple. We make money from taking a commission from each transaction and advertising. Every time we add a new vertical, a new service, the customer tends to stick because we're catering to the universal needs. And as we're expanding to different regions, we're taking the learnings from the previous region, we're applying it. That reduces our cost of acquisition because we're applying our previous learnings. The thing that sets us apart locally and globally is the fact that we have a large variety of merchants. We're using a low pricing strategy. It's combined due to our mixed model of revenues. And one of the most important things, we have a B2B marketplace, meaning all those vendors, they can procure their goods inside of a network, reducing the cost of operation and making the end product more affordable. One of the things that we're super proud of is the fact that we're enabling other business. So we're not cannibalizing. Every city that we go, we're allowing other people that have their own e-commerce business to leverage on our network of deliveries. Our team is quite experienced. Straight from the college, we've been working on this project. This is our first job. We spent 8 years understanding what's it like to launch an e-commerce business for the first time in Africa. Our mission is really to connect business and help eradicate youth unemployment to last mile delivery. Thank you.
How do you deal with local competitors that are already in place?
It's a good question. First of all, our way of operating is simple. We try to understand what does the merchant needs, what does the driver wants. So by combining these two necessities, we can find gaps. Often drivers are not well treated. Often merchants are not looked after they sign up, like the other players forget about them. Like we have onboarding plans for like 3 months, 1 month, how we can actually increase. Plus with the B2B marketplace that allows them to procure goods at a lower cost so they become more competitive. This is the thing that is setting us apart from the rest. The experience was good at pitching, but that nervousness, you never get used to it. My mom always says, like, if you're not nervous, then the stage is not big enough. And here is like, we're representing 7 years of our experience, and we have to convey the message correctly so that the way people can understand what we're actually trying to achieve. But the experience is fantastic, so I'm happy, man.
Ezana knew that his job tech platform is helping to empower the unemployed and upskill the next generation, a worthy cause that needed a worthy pitch to convince these panel of judges.
We meet our second SMME. To tell us more, please welcome Ezana Roswick to the stage. Ezana, your 10 minutes of fame start now.
Thank you. So in Ethiopia, we have an issue, which is 2 million young people are joining the job market every year. Of those 2 million, 100,000 go to vocational schools, so think about plumbers, electricians. Of those, 70% of them are unemployed. At the same time, we have a growing middle class, 120,000 households in Addis Ababa, the main city. And when we polled them, 78% of them say, I can't find a reliable plumber, electrician to come to my house. And so what we have is a broken market. And so what TaskMobi does, it's the first digital marketplace that connects users with service providers. We've chosen 3 specific verticals, so cleaning, plumbing, disinfection as well, so electrical services as well. It's a large market, $450 million, growing by 10%. And we've focused in on providing both consumer services, so B2C, as well as enterprise services. So how does it work? It's quite simple. You can order, just like you can order an Uber to your house, you can order a plumber to come and fix things around the home. And essentially the way the model works is on the left side here, what we have are vocational school graduates. We make sure they're certified, they're trained, they're safe. On the right-hand side, you have both houses, so consumers and businesses that are looking for reliable services, make sure the pricing is clear, the quality is there as well. And between these two, we have a tech layer. So we have a mobile application, USSD, and a call center to make sure that we connect those two worlds together. So how is it that we're doing? We're doing quite well. We've grown by 400% over the past year. In terms of users, we have about 30,000 registered users, 3,800 service providers that are on the platform. Importantly, 50% of them are women. And most importantly, the users on our platform score us highly, so about 4.5 out of 5. We're very privileged to have strong partnerships, so proud of the fact that DStv, or MultiChoice, is our largest client and growing quite nicely. We also have partnerships with Rifeng and Jago, which are global plumbing supplies companies that are looking for installation services in Ethiopia. We work very closely with development partners that are trying to create jobs in Ethiopia, and government as well. So the Ministry of Labor of Skills, they have a goal of really creating an 18 million strong gig economy, and we're one of the 5 partners that works with government on this venture. Very proud of the fact that we're the first Ethiopian startup in the Google Black Founders, the GSMA Innovation Fund, and very happy to be part of this Accelerator program as well.
Jacqueline?
Yeah, thank you, Claire. So I just wanted to understand from Ezana, do you have any form of partnerships with colleges or universities in Ethiopia?
Yes, we do. So we have partnerships both with vocational schools. So what we do is, as part of our recruiting process, is we work with the outplacement of the vocational schools to get a list of hopefully top graduates that are unemployed. They provide us a list, and then we go through the onboarding process. So make sure they're vetted, provide them with certification. But we do have partnerships in place both with vocational schools as well as the Ministry of Labor Skills. Tried to make it as clear as possible in terms of modules, and then preparing here is just doing a lot of rehearsal, and I think it went okay. Actually, probably more important than what I'm selling is who I'm representing. So I'm representing both, I think, people that need jobs in Ethiopia, and then the team that's working with me. So I felt that that's who I need to represent. And then in terms of the actual pitch itself, it's really to establish credibility that we know what we're doing, and that to the investors, that their money would be well spent in terms of the team is strong, the opportunity is big, and that we're going to be delivering, based on our track record, the impact that we claim that we will. So hopefully those points made it through.
Zambia Bootcamp awaits both SMMEs, where they'll put the finishing touches to their pitching skills before they jet off to Dubai to meet and pitch to international investors. Next time on the penultimate episode of MultiChoice Africa Accelerator, we meet the 11th and final SMME, Vuaganji's Mighty Finance, out of Zambia. We spend time with the 11 startups in Zambia Bootcamp, and we take a look back at the journey so far and how the 11 are feeling before they make the last leg of the MultiChoice Africa Accelerator journey, where Dubai awaits them. To learn more about the 2023 Africa Accelerator program, log on to our portal on the link below. The MultiChoice Africa Accelerator, powered by ECOWAS Bank, supported by MultiChoice Innovation Fund.